Hi food storage friends, and welcome back to Everyday Food Storage. Now in today's episode, I'm going to show you how to make spaghetti even easier. I know that might be hard to believe, but when we throw in a few key food storage ingredients, this is going to be so easy even a child could make it. Before we get started on our one-pot spaghetti penne, I wanted to show you and explain to you the beauty of canned meat. Now, a lot of people in the food storage world will use freeze-dried meat, and I don't really do that, and I'll give you a couple reasons why. Number one, it's really expensive. It's like $15 a pound. I don't have that kind of money, so I buy my ground beef on sale, and then I can it like this, and then it's already cooked, so I don't have to get it out of the freezer, thaw it, cook it. I just open up the can, and you can even use the liquid in it as broth. Guys, it's broth, don't throw it away. It's great at adding a great boost to your food anytime you use it in any recipe. If you're wondering what this weird stuff at the top is, it's actually fat, which might sound a little crazy, but actually it's great because now when you cook it, you don't have to drain it. You can actually just scoop that off and get right down to the good stuff. Okay, so let's get started. Now at this point, the original recipe, you would brown your ground beef. So if you don't have canned ground beef, you can pull it out of your 90-day supply out of your freezer or fresh. It works still the same. But since I'm using canned ground beef, all I'm gonna do is pour it in my pan. Oh, I love that sizzle. Okay, stir it around a little bit and then go ahead and add in your garlic and my other favorite food storage item, which is our dehydrated onions. Now, I hardly ever chop onions because of these babies right here, and especially if you want your child making this recipe, this makes it even easier for them because there's no cutting involved. So go ahead and throw that in. Now we're gonna add in some liquid. It needs to be 2 cups of liquid. Now what I did is I drained the liquid off of my ground beef and added it to my liquid so that I would have that extra beef flavor from my canned beef and also get the needed liquid that I need. So go ahead and pour in those 2 cups, and it's these 2 cups of water or liquid that's going to actually cook your penne all right here in this one pot. Now to that, you're going to add in 1 jar of spaghetti sauce. Now again, this is another thing you could buy from a food storage company in powdered form, but I don't like them because I've looked and some of them, the very first ingredient is sugar, black. And this is like $1 on sale at the store. It's so much cheaper, and the sell-by date is at least a 1.5 years out from when you buy it. So as long as you're rotating it regularly, this totally counts as food storage. Go ahead and pour in your sauce. I'm telling you guys, this recipe is like magic. And then we're gonna put in our 3 cups of penne pasta, which is also a great food storage ingredient. You're simply gonna give this a stir, bring it to a boil, and then simmer for about 15 minutes, stirring occasionally to make sure nothing gets burned on the bottom. Okay, so the timer just went off, and let me unveil this. It is like magic. Now we have fully cooked spaghetti penne. I didn't have to carry a heavy pot full of boiling water across the stove, which is exactly what makes this recipe perfect for kids. It starts and ends right here on the stove. Now all we're gonna do to finish this off is sprinkle on a cup of mozzarella cheese. Now, this sort of fresh mozzarella cheese that you get at the grocery store is also sort of an unknown food storage item. Next time you go to the store, go ahead and look at the best by or the sell-by date on that cheese, and you'll notice that it's usually about 6 months out from when you're buying it, which means it can sit in your fridge unopened for about 6 months before it might start going bad. Or of course, you can also freeze it. And that's really gonna be the cheapest way to go to have cheese in the short term for your food storage. So we're gonna go ahead and put all that on, put the lid back on for 1 more minute, and it will be ready to go. So it's all done, and just look at how cheesy and melty goodness this is. Now just to make it look pretty, I went ahead and picked some basil from my garden and cut it into small little pieces, just to drizzle that on top. But of course you wouldn't have to, it's just for looks and for fun, but it does smell amazing. Now, the moment of truth. Let's go ahead and get a scoop of this. You see how it, oh, the cheese, it's stringy, I love it. Okay. It's so good. I love the cheese, it's so good. So that's it for this week's recipe, a irresistible one-pot spaghetti penne done in under 15 minutes flat. You cannot beat that. Now, if you like my videos, make sure you subscribe below and also leave a comment. What other fun, fast recipes do you use at your house? I'd love to know. And we'll see you next week for more everyday food storage. Want the recipe? Click on our link listed in our description below.